Hello, game theorists. Today we are going over the Vickrey game, which we just played in class today. So here are the rules. It's an auction game. As we'll see in chapter 16, auctions fit within the scope of game theory. So in general, games have a setup where the outcome depends upon what you do and also what the other players do. Well, that also applies to auctions. Whether you win depends upon what you bid and also upon what the other groups bid. So there's that strategic interaction, which means we can use game theory. So this auction is a bit different from what you might be used to. Highest bid wins, but the twist is that you don't pay what you bid, you pay what the second highest bid is. So my example here, we had group X and group Y. Group X thought it was worth 100, and they chose to bid 95. Group Y thought it was worth 90, and they bid 92. Highest bid wins, so group X's bid of 95 is bigger than group Y's bid. That means group X would get the item. Now, while group X bid 95, they don't pay 95. They pay the second highest bid. And that second highest bid is 92. So that's what they are paying. So group X's payoff is what they think the item's worth, 100, minus what they're paying, the second highest bid of 92. 100 minus 92 is 8. Now, Group Y did not win the auction, but they don't pay anything either, so they're getting 0. Now, we'll see in Chapter 16, Part 1, that the best strategy in this game is to bid your value. So if your value is 100, then you should bid 100. If your value is 90, then you should bid 90. More explanation at the start of this chapter. Let's see what you guys did, though, when you played the game. So I have a table here with all the results. Let me resize that so you can see it. There we go. So many of the groups either bid their value, bid something very close to their value. So breakout room 1 followed the right strategy. Their value is 100, and they bid 100. And breakout room 4 bid 106, which was equal to their value. And breakout room 8 and 5 and 6 did the same thing. So other groups try a small deviation, like breakout room 7 bid a little bit below their value, and breakout room 8 bid a little bit above their value. To try and mimic the real world, each group had different values. People have different opinions over what something is worth at an auction. And also, you don't know what other people think the item is worth. So if you're at an art auction and you're bidding for a painting, you might have one idea of what you think the painting is worth, and someone else might have a totally different opinion over what it's worth. And you don't know what they're thinking. So that all mimics real-world settings. The big outlier here was Team US Fed, who had a valuation of 102. That's what they thought the item was worth, but they bid 27 trillion. So that's the highest bid, so they got the item. Let's find what their payoff is. So the payoff is what you think the item is worth minus the amount you pay for it. And the amount you pay is second highest bid. So 27 trillion is the highest bid, but the second highest bid was 116. So they're paying that amount. They're paying the second highest bid. So they pay 116. So US Fed ends up paying 116 for an item that they think is worth 102. So 102 minus 116 comes out to -14. So that's their payoff. The payoff for all the other groups is going to be 0 because they did not win the auction, but they also don't pay anything. So as you can see here, the risk of overbidding, of paying something that's above your value, is that if some other group has a high bid as well, you end up paying a high amount. So in this case, Barrier Room A was bidding 116, which was well above US Fed's value, but US Fed had to pay that higher amount, and that made them worse off. So there is a risk to overbidding, even if you're only paying the second highest bid. So that's the basics of the game. For more detail and to see why it's best to bid your value, go ahead and watch the video for Chapter 16, Part 1. That's all I have for now. Stay safe out there.